Claire and I'm a PC. Fairly controversial statement, I know. I work in web development, worked in design for 8 years. I'm just anti-Apple. I don't like them. They're not for me. You know, just get it out there, get out of the way. But I work in an office that is full of Apple fanatics, Apple addicts. The one thing that really gets me about Apple is that even though I'm not one of their users, they've impacted my life so much that I have a really passionate feeling about their branding. And I think in today's society, where we are bombarded with so many big brands and advertising and subliminal messages, if there are brands out there like Apple and Starbucks that can have this Marmite effect on us, that we really either hate them or we love them, that's actually quite impressive. I'm going to touch on Starbucks for a minute because I think Starbucks are doing something quite interesting in that they're actually targeting the anti-Starbucks movement by the fact that they've launched a chain of unbranded Starbucks in Seattle. So if you're one of Seattle's cool coffee drinkers and you go into the Roy Street Tea and Coffee Shop and you order your Cafe Verona, what you're actually getting is a cup of Starbucks coffee. But the other thing is that these independent stores are actually doing better than Starbucks branded stores just because people are buying into the independent sort of selling point of them. The antithesis of this is Apple. Apple are really strong about their branding. They have very consistent messages. You see an Apple advert, you know what it is that you're going to be buying. Apple don't let anyone interfere with their branding. And I think maybe they take this a little bit too far by the fact that apparently Apple stores in the UK refuse to have non-smoking stickers in their window. Allegedly, Apple is so passionate about the branding and the design aesthetics of their stores that they think these little non-smoking stickers will ruin the design. So they actually prefer to pay the fine than to have the stickers. I'm reading this brilliant book at the moment called The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, and it's kind of relating to branding and marketing, talks about how really small things can make a really big difference to you. And it talks a lot about critical mass and about how you need to get people on your side, enable for your brand to grow. For the marketers out there, I'll talk about this in terms of viral marketing. So I sell my idea in terms of an e-letter to my friends. They love it, they pass it on to their friends. They love it, they pass it on to their friends, so on and so forth. Before you know it, before you've really had to do anything, it's in the hands of thousands of people. And if you keep your brand out there, your brand will keep growing. Obviously, don't piss people off by emailing them every day. But just by getting yourself out there, your brand will grow. And I think the one thing to look at in this is your early adopters, the people who are your fans, the people who love you. Guys like you who come to Ignite Bristol tonight who are going to tweet and go home and tell people how brilliant it was so that more people will come to the next event. And it's so important that you look after your early adopters because they have your reputation in their hands. And yes, big branding companies like Apple and Starbucks have huge budgets and armies of marketing people. But you know what? You came tonight, you didn't pay for your ticket. Your networking, it didn't cost you a penny. If you use social media, use Twitter, use Facebook, it's free. If you blog, it's free. If you do put yourself out there, make sure that your message is consistent. This is me, I'm everywhere on the web. Use the same imaging, the same names, the same tone of voice. If people want to find you, you want to make it easy for them. Know who you want to be, or more importantly, know how you want people to see you, even if that's not who you are. Make sure that the messaging that you're putting out there is consistent and that it adequately represents who you are. Social networking, I love this, this is brilliant. If you are using Twitter, say what represents you. Incidentally, bugbear of mine, Twitter is not an RSS feed. If you're a big company, don't just push your information out there. It's a conversation. If people talk to you, talk back. Be nice to them. So you can go down the Apple route with your branding, and you can be really strong, and you can not listen to what people tell you, and you can say, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do, and I don't care what you say. The great thing is, your brand will be really strong and beautiful. And people will trust you. And you know what? Some people aren't going to like you, but that's okay, because the ones that do, they're going to love you, and they're going to really respect that you didn't sell out and you stuck by your roots. Or you can go down the Starbucks route, and you can diversify your brand, and you can add products and services so that you can get a bigger share of the market. If numbers is really important to you, you know, maybe this isn't such a bad thing. You'll get a bigger market share and more people will have heard about you. But you know what? You risk diluting your brand. And the thing about this is that if you chop and change your message too much, you're also going to lose some of that trust because people are going to get suspicious that you're pulling the wool over their eyes. But that's a decision for you to make. I think finally the one thing that we can learn from these really big brands, they're passionate. It doesn't matter what you're out there selling. If you're selling yourself, your brand, your company's reputation, coffee, or computers, nobody is going to buy into your idea if you don't. Thank you very much.